It's time for our next Disneyland hotel stay.
And it's the last one on our list.
Hey there, Man Fam. We are here at Disneyland about to check into the villas at the Disneyland Hotel.
We have stayed at the main Disneyland Hotel in the past, but this is our first time staying at the new villas, so come with us as we check out the room, the dining, the new pool, and everything that this hotel has to offer.
Let's go.
The Disneyland Hotel opened up October 5th, 1955, just a few months after Disneyland Park in July, making it the oldest Disney hotel and the only one Walt Disney ever went to. So while this isn't the closest hotel to the parks or even the fanciest hotel, it has a soft spot in my heart because it's all about Disneyland history. Each of the original towers of the hotel is themed to one of the different lands in Disneyland. You've got Frontier Tower, Adventure Tower, and Fantasy Tower. But the brand new Discovery Tower, which opened up in the fall of 2023, is themed to just kind of general Disneyland history as a whole, as opposed to one land specifically. And while the villas at the Disneyland Hotel are technically part of the same property, and they do share a lot of the same amenities like the dining and the fun pool right here with the monorail slide, it also has its own amenities like a brand new pool, a new restaurant, and of course brand new rooms, which we're headed to check out. The first thing I love this detail right here, you can see that the pixie dust trail is leading us to the Discovery Tower. And then you've got Tinkerbell wings right here in the gatework. But my favorite detail before we even get close to checking in is if you look on the sides, there's these beautiful colorful panels right here, but they're not just any color, they're not random colors. If you come look at the base of them, it is the color palettes of certain Disney movies, and they've got two different sets of these. So Lion King's my favorite Disney animated film. It's right here in the center, and you can see you've got some screenshots of the movie in the different color palettes. And then if you were to grab the most dominant color in every scene of the movie, it would look like this, and then they're showing you which colors they picked for this artwork. And it's just like so not obvious that it's related to Disney movies when you first look at it. It just looks bright and colorful, but it's actually a very, very cool way to honor classic Disney animated films. Alan, even though you can't see colors, which one's your favorite? On this side. We can go look at the other side too.
Probably either The Lion King or Princess and the Frog.
Yeah, unsurprisingly, Princess and the Frog has lots of greens and blues, and then unsurprisingly, Lion King has lots of like tans and browns and oranges. It's just, this is so neat. You can see how colorful the Alice in Wonderland one is, which is not surprising knowing that Mary Blair was one of the artists for that film, and she was very well known for her use of color.
And on the other side of the lobby, the three movies and their color palettes represented are Frozen, The Jungle Book, and Mulan. I love seeing some Mulan representation. And I think this might have taken over from my favorite color palette. But let's head inside and check out the lobby. We are greeted, of course, by the 70th anniversary of Disney, the Celebrate Happy celebration. Oh my goodness, and once you come inside, this is, again, a whole host of nods to Disney animation across this mural here on the back wall. You see Sleeping Beauty represented, Peter Pan, Mickey at the top of the tower from Fantasmic, Mowgli in blue, Snow White. I love this art style. Oh my gosh, all the way over here on the end, you've got Sisu and Raya. Absolutely criminally underrated film. And because this is a DVC property, they also have a DVC lounge. Oh, wait a minute. And just before you get to the elevators, you have all of these, I hesitate to say relics, but icons of early Disney animation, starting with the Steamboat Willie. Here's Ub Iwerks. Oh, it's just so cool. One of the original animation panels. This is so cool. And of course, we have to have a nod here to The Princess and the Frog with Princess Tiana, the last hand-drawn animated feature. Listen, it might just be me, but I wish we would bring back more true hand-drawn animation for the full-length features. There's just something so charming about them. Here we see some of the early animated panels for Anna, resulting in what her 3D model would look like, and the Fantasia elephants and hippos with their poses. And they also have a very nice fitness center located here on the first floor, so tucked away behind the elevators. Now, we did online check-in, so we will be getting a notification sent to our phones when our room is ready. If you chose not to do that, you would check in at the main tower, Fantasy Tower, at their front desk, and they would let you know the status of your room if it was ready, and gather your information to contact you if it was not yet done. Now, we checked in early and our room is not ready, so we're gonna go get a bite to eat.
We are having lunch at the Palm Breeze Bar. This is a new restaurant open for lunch and dinner. It's poolside, so you can get your poolside libations, or this is a great spot to grab a bite to eat. They do take walk-ups, however, if you are looking to dine at a specific time, I do recommend booking those reservations. I really like the vibe of the restaurant. It feels very in keeping with the 50s retro theme of this hotel, and I also really like the artwork at the back of it. That's kind of that cartoonish look that we saw in the lobby with the characters, but now it's the Disneyland parks. And speaking of poolside, you can see this is where the brand new pool that they added for the villas is. Not only is it a nice pool, but there's also a very cute Steamboat Willie themed splash zone for the little ones. We're gonna not be weird and go film that right now. We're gonna hope to be able to get some easier shots later, but just noting that there is a brand new pool for the villa guests. And note that if you're staying at the villas, you can use this pool or the main pool with the monorail and vice versa. If anywhere you're staying at the Disneyland Hotel, you have access to both pools.
Taking a look at the menu, you start with your shareables. You've got everything from ahi tuna tartare to some falafel and a fattoush, some salads, sandwiches, a jumbo lump crab roll on the menu, some personal pizzas, entrees like pan-roasted salmon or prime flat iron steak. Then you have a kids menu with some good options like a cheesy grilled cheese, desserts, the molten chocolate cake or beignets. As far as the beverages go, boy, do they have a whole host of specialty cocktails. We actually just heard from our wonderful server, Cameron, that this menu has recently received an update a couple of months ago, and with that, a lot of the beverages are new. So you've got your grown inspirations, which are more like what look like light and herbaceous cocktails, wake-up calls, that coconut martini, stirred and strong with the Oaxacan old-fashioned, chilled delights, and a selection of non-alcoholic specialty beverages. If spirits aren't your thing, they also have a selection of wines and draft beers.
All right, drinks and apps have showed up, and I'm not gonna lie to you guys, vibes are high. They're playing some Disney music. It's not hot outside. It's lovely. For cocktails, I am trying the Strawberry Thyme Fizz, which is made with Tito's Vodka, Cynar, Strawberry Thyme Syrup, lemon juice, and Prosecco. Our server told me it wouldn't be too sweet, but I still had him go a little lighter on the syrup just to make sure. And then Alan got the Blue Bee's Knees, which is made with the Botanist Gin, lemon juice, organic honey, and blueberry wine. Very fun. And then for appetizers, I'm so excited about what's in front of me right now. This is the cheese fry poutine. It's got a demi-glazed cheese sauce, chive sour cream, and pimentos on there on a big batch of French fries with cheese curds. And then we also are trying the falafel and fattoush, which is made with crispy pita, blistered tomatoes, cucumbers, grilled artichoke, and lemon hummus. This does have pine nuts as a garnish normally, but we asked for them to hold those, obviously, because Alan doesn't want to go to the hospital right now.
The Blue Bee's Knees was incredibly spirit-forward. You could taste the botanicals of the gin, specifically the botanist, which is my favorite, followed by the citrus notes of the lemon juice and a little bit of sweetness coming from the honey and the blueberry wine. I really did enjoy this. It was just enough spirit-forward, but still had a little bit of that sweetness to make it refreshing. A great gin tropical drink.
I also really enjoyed the Strawberry Thyme Fizz. The strongest flavor was definitely the strawberry as well as the Prosecco, which added a little bit of bubble to it. A little bit of tartness from the lemon juice. Can't really taste the vodka, but that is vodka's way. As Alan said, this was a great tropical fruity beverage, but wasn't too sweet, was a little spirit forward, would absolutely drink again. Oh, cheese fry poutine, how do I love thee? Let me count the ways. Listen, I'm not Canadian, so I'm not here to tell you the best poutine ever, but I think this is the best poutine I've personally ever had. Sometimes with cheese curd, it's too much fried, not enough cheese, and not only is that not an issue here, but also the cheese has some kind of garlic situation in it, so they're nice and flavorful on their own. Then you've got this heaping mountain of fries, perfectly salted, perfectly crispy, and then you've got a little bit of sour cream on there with the chive adding an earthiness flavor. Then you've got the pimentos on there that add that little slight sweet peppery flavor. Nothing hot, just helps break up all this fried. This is a fantastic dish, very shareable. This is a huge serving for the cost. I would eat this 100 times over.
Now, the falafel and fattoush is the exact opposite of the fried plate that Molly has been enjoying, and I've got to be honest, I have too. It is very light and bright and citrusy. There is a ton of that lemon flavor throughout. There's a little bit of light smokiness coming from the paprika that is sprinkled across this dish. Not only hummus, which I think was incredible hummus, it was very smooth, not super gritty, and had enough flavor to be able to stand up to the falafel, which in my opinion was a little bit crumbly. It wasn't as solid as I'd expect from a falafel, but was very flavorful, fried wonderfully, not very oily, which I know is often a problem when it comes to fried falafel. The greens on the side were coated in a vinaigrette that was very light and bright, a little herbaceous, and it also had that lemon squeezed over top as well. I love the fact that inside you had full hearts of artichoke as well as tomatoes and olives. That all gave it a very fresh, briny taste as well. I personally love this flavor profile, and this was so simple and well prepared, a great dish. Now for our main, we are splitting the Southwest chicken sandwich. This is artichoke marinated chicken, roasted green chili, pepper jack cheese, caramelized onions, all on a garlic butter toasted brioche bun. With fries on the side, I am ecstatic to dig in. That is a very tasty chicken sandwich. I do like that the chicken is thin. The only thing I will say is that it is a little bit dry to me, but it has been seasoned very well. The artichoke marinade, upon first reading it, I didn't know how that would show up flavor-wise, but there is a very light flavor of that artichoke, a little bit grassy, a little bit fruity, all atop the incredibly buttery toasted brioche bun. I'm very happy that they have caramelized onions in there to help break up a lot of that one-note flavor. Would I get it again? You know, I think I'd probably try the burger next time. I think this is okay, but it doesn't necessarily compare to the two appetizers.
Well, that was a fabulous lunch, and our room is now ready, so we are headed up to find it. We're on the tippy top floor, but one thing I should note about Palm Breeze is that you can get food to go, so just head around to the back of the bar and they can pack it all up for you. We've got some leftovers, all that poutine to put in our room.
Well,
Poutine to be poutine in our room.
Nailed it. Ooh! Okay, it looks like the levels are going to be themed after different movies and their color palette. But as we walk down the hallway, we also have some artwork from Princess and the Frog. And there's this very fun wallpaper that's got a bunch of different Disney character silhouettes in it. Like there's some Sleeping Beauty characters, Frozen, Alice in Wonderland, Lion King, Snow White. This is pretty. Oh, Mulan and Mushu. There's the hyenas. Ooh. Look at the Tiana headboard. Celebrate. Little Joe Bros bumping. All right, so let's take a look at our room. This is a deluxe studio with a preferred view. Now, this is a DVC tower, but anyone can book these rooms. You don't have to be DVC. We're not DVC, and we'll get into the price and all of that in just a moment. But starting with this beautiful room, you've got this little seated area right here, which is attached to a pull-out bed because this can sleep four, which Alan will lovingly demonstrate right now. I can't wait to reveal whatever the art is. Aww. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna cry. It's baby Tiana sleeping.
She's dreaming of the gumbo.
And no, she's dreaming of.
You got the gumbo pot right there.
Oh, but then that's her Tiana's palace, and then her crown, and then the shadow of her parents, like they went to check on her. Oh, and Evangeline's outside. It's too much. It's too nice. Okay, well, as magical as the background art is, Alan, and I do want to point out, I love that they have on that side, they've got like the cords, outlets and such on the reading light, but Alan, you know what you must do. Gently, we've learned from other pullouts.
Ooh. It's very firm. Wow. This is a 4. It's just very firm, folks. It doesn't have like a ton of give. This is a perfect mattress for children to teenagers, I think, or your in-laws.
Across from the pullout, we have a large TV, tons of drawer space. I love the detail, like Tiana's crown and Evangeline right here in the background. an illuminated mirror, which I appreciate that there's this one as well as the ones in the bathroom because you're getting ready. A couple sitting stools if you need to sit there for some reason. Alan is sitting in another place.
Look at this artwork.
There's like a sketch of Tiana and her parents, and then there's some concept art of the movie, which is awesome.
Naveen, Lawrence.
And then here's Tiana. I'm a gumbo. Love it, love it, love it. And then more storage right here. Also, I want to point out, always look in these things, friends, because you may have a goodie like this postcard. You can take that. That's cute. It's got the monorail slide from the pool. Also, in-room dining. Not every Disney resort, at least not in Walt Disney World, has room service. And sometimes, you know what? You got to treat yourself to a little breakfast in bed. Looking outside again, we have a preferred view. So first of all, you can see the Disneyland Hotel campus really well with the iconic monorail slide right here, the whole pool. Also, I never knew that bowl of people soup was Minnie Mouse shaped. Hard to tell from the ground, but you can certainly tell from up here. If you look out straight ahead, we've got, you can see the Pixar Place Hotel, and then keep going, and you've got Disney California Adventure. You can really see Cars Land as well as Guardians really easily. And if you look, also the Grand Californian right in front of it. And then if you look off to the left-hand side, you can see some of Disneyland. And I feel like that's Tiana's Bayou Adventure that we can see kind of prominently right there. Now we must try the other bed.
Oh. Wow. You really just sink into this one. This is solid. This is good. I think it's like a sort of like a medium give. The bed sheets are quite nice. I'm going to give this an 8.2.
Wow, pretty good.
Yeah. Ooh.
I like that on each side you've got a little bedside table, outlets, light, should you need to read. Hello. Oh! I thought that would be for the reading light, but it lit up the almost there number. Well, that's magic.
Yeah.
Now, because this is a DVC room, there is a kitchenette. You've got a microwave. What else, Alan? You're the chef.
Bowls, plates, coffee mugs, glasses, cutlery, empty shelf for whatever you may need.
You're explaining this because, it would take a chef.
True. Wow. Ice bucket, toaster for you retirees.
Microwave is huge though, because we have leftovers, we can heat those up.
Single serve Keurig, coffee, lights. That's not special, just nice to have. Fridge that already has our leftovers.
Nice that it's an actual fridge, not just a beverage cooler.
And then down here below you have paper towels and dishwashing accoutrement. Kitchenette complete.
Right next door, you've got the closet area with some robes, which we love. And if you look in the back, there's one of Tiana's uniforms from when she is working multiple waitress jobs. So that's a fun little Easter egg. And then in this closet, you've got extra linen, safe, ironing board, and collapsible laundry bin in case you would like to go to the laundry room on property. Dads, here's that thermostat. Then right here in the hallway area, we've got the full-length mirror so you can check out your fit, some more beautiful artwork, and we move to the bathroom, where first thing that catches my eye is the adorable lily pad design on the illuminated mirror. You've also got the shower right here with more of the tiles in the color palette. Definitely not H2O products. The ever important hairdryer test. There is an attachment, which I find very important. It's a bigger hairdryer than I expected. I'm gonna give it a 7. It's not the best, but it's not the worst either. And then in here, you can close off separate the throne with this concept art of Mama Odie's house. I wonder how she'd feel about being in the bathroom area, but the concept art's cool to look at while you're busy, nonetheless. Now let's talk about price. If you were to book rack rate, this room without any kind of discount would have been $973. The lowest I saw these rooms was $550, and the most I saw was $1,200. And while this video is not sponsored, I feel compelled to tell you that this room cost $348 with DVC Rental Store while we're here. And that's why we work with them and book rooms with them, even when they're not sponsoring our content. You can stay at the Disneyland hotels, which are on average much more expensive than the Walt Disney World hotels because there's only 3 of them. A lot of people think the Disneyland hotels are not affordable, and I fully get that because the rooms at the 3 Disneyland hotels are very expensive. But looking at DVC Rental Store, again, a third of the cost here at the Disneyland Hotel. Also tonight, for comparison, the Grand Californian, which is right across the way there, would have been $964 tonight rack rate and $357 tonight with DVC Rental Store. So while there are lots of walkable good neighbor hotels in the Disneyland area, if you want to stay on property and get the service, get the perks, get the amenities of staying at a Disneyland hotel, highly recommend looking into DVC Rental Store because it again takes the price from almost $1,000 a night to in the $300 or a moderate price a night. Perks of staying in a Disneyland hotel as of now include early entry into the parks, although early next year they are removing that and adding in a lightning lane during your stay for Disneyland Resort guests. You also get preferred access to the hotel dining reservations, which include popular places like Goofy's Kitchen, along with easy access into the parks. For example, Pixar Place has its own exclusive access into Disney California Adventure. We at the Disneyland Hotel are directly connected to Downtown Disney, which you can take the monorail into Disneyland. The Grand Californian has an entrance directly into Disney California Adventure. So while the way the property is set up, it's much different than Walt Disney World, and you can stay at good neighbor hotels that are still walkable, you're not going to get closer than staying in a Disneyland hotel. All right, and now we are going to have our luggage delivered, which is with Bell Services, which, as a friendly reminder, is in the main lobby. However, we were staying at the Grand Californian last night, and they will transfer if you are resort hopping while staying at Disneyland. So they're going to bring that up to us, and then we'll go explore some more.
What?
I want to see what colors all.
Oh, it's a real quick color peek.
That one's pink. Down.
Okay.
Pink.
Got to do a quick little capture of it.
And it looks like a Sleeping Beauty.
Yes. Next.
I wonder how many we're going to get to before we repeat.
10th floor.
This one's like oranges.
Going down.
I don't even know what movie that is. It's like, it made me feels like a weird choice. Okay, we started over again.
Oh, we were okay.
Yeah,
got it.
yeah,
So
yeah.
after
three color palettes.
Three color palettes. Three. All right. After our room tour, we took a little bit of time to catch up on work because, well, there were some videos that needed to be reviewed and some other work that needed to be done. And now we are going to continue exploring this resort and then go have dinner at a place neither of us have been before. And I'm quite excited.
We're going to start with Frontier Tower. I love coming in here because they have concept art and sometimes models and things from Imagineering with the appropriate land. So let's see what they have. There's awesome large pieces of concept art for Frontierland as predicted around, but the definite coolest thing in here is this huge to scale model of Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. Just look at this. Look at those people just having the best time on the wildest ride in the wilderness. And this says this is a 1/4 inch to 1 inch recreation to scale of Big Thunder, which is so fun. And you can just look at all the detail. And this is from Walt Disney Imagineering. This is the kind of thing that they build before they actually build the life-size attraction so that they can visualize everything and see where everything's going to go. I mean, down to the detail of the dinosaur bones in the fossils in the earth there, the saloon and the town. It's just really, really cool to look at this.
There's one person I'm looking for in particular.
One person you're looking for? Is it Tony Baxter? No. He's on the ride. Is it Walt? No. Is it the goat? Dynamite Goat. Oh, of course. A must. I love that even Dynamite Goat has been represented. A must.
And next up we have Adventure Tower, which, as the name would suggest, themed to Adventureland. And as soon as you get inside, you have a massive bit of concept art for the entryway to Adventureland, along with a whole host of models for some of the animals that you will find on the Jungle Cruise. So you've got the giraffe, some of the bathing hippos, and a lot of these gorillas who you will see sort of monkeying about on the attraction. And just like in the other towers, you're going to see pictures of early days of Adventureland and some concept art of what would eventually be created there. Like here, the dock that would greet you for the Jungle Cruise. And then potentially one of my favorite pictures here is Walt in the Enchanted Tiki Room. These tiki birds being the originators of animatronics as we know them today.
And now we're headed into Fantasy Tower, which is technically the main part of this hotel. So this is going to be where your main check-in is. This is going to be where your Bell Services is. This is going to be the main lobby of the Disneyland Hotel. but it's obviously themed to Fantasyland. Like in the seating area right here, you've got these really cool teacup chairs, which are adorable. And on the far end of the lobby, you've got some concept art of classics like Dumbo, back when they had bumper boats, and the Mad Tea Party. One of the coolest parts of the lobby is this wall right here across from the main elevators, and it's just a bunch of pictures of the creation of Disneyland. There's a bunch of pictures of Walt and Roy and the opening of Disneyland. Look, here's the Sherman Brothers, who wrote the classic music to things like It's a Small World. You've got Mary Blair right here, the iconic artist. Some famous people that came during the opening of Disneyland. So it's just as a Disney like history nerd, this is the coolest. Also, here's the opening ceremony for It's a Small World, where they had little kids from around the world bring water from their country and dump it into the water. We could use a little of that unity, I think, right now. Also, was just promptly reminded and failed to mention in the other two towers, but use the bathroom in the lobby because the wallpaper is attraction posters for that land, and it's really, really cool.
The main merchandise location here at the Disneyland Hotel is the Fantasia shop, and it is actually a pretty darn good sized merch shop, worth everything ranging from your standard Disneyland gear that you can pick up in the park, so the 2025 merch collection and the Disneyland 70th collection can be found inside. Outside of that, you can get some stuffed animals and some very unique items that are only for the Disneyland Hotel, which include a Trader Sam's line. And outside of that, there are other standard items like mugs, cups, glasses, bubble wands, all things that you could expect from a standard quote-unquote Disney merch shop. Now for smaller sundry items, you have It's a Small World Gifts and Sundries. And as the name would suggest, it possesses some of those smaller items, but notably it also includes a place to customize your ear hats.
Passing by more beautiful concept art of Disneyland. This is by Herb Ryman. This is some of the first art ever drawn of Disneyland and of the castle, which Walt Disney and Roy Disney used to pitch to ABC so they would back their crazy project for a theme park. And Herb Ryman cranked it out over a weekend, which is unbelievable. He had it all in his brain, and he and Walt sat together, locked themselves in an office for a weekend, and drew all of the concept art that would then land them the financial backing to build the happiest place on earth. And if you like hearing that kind of nerdy stuff, check out our 70th video where Alan and I went through everything that used to be in the park on opening day, what Disneyland was like compared to what it is like now. And I assure you, you will learn something that shocks you unless you somehow know about babies eating a bunch of meat and bras on Main Street. And speaking of things that may shock you, I love this wall. I could stare at it for hours of all of this old vintage merchandise from Disneyland throughout the years. Like anything from this adorable Grad Night Pooh from 1972, it looks like. Look at Dopey here. He can get it in any decade. You've got old puzzles, old name tags. It's just like you could stare at this forever. Alan, what's a piece of merchandise that catches your eyeball?
Well, I'll tell you, I saw it and I walked away immediately. This Mickey mask right here.
Oh, you don't love that?
It does look like it would visit me in a nightmare.
I like that they put the eyes under it.
Yeah, just in case you didn't know what that was.
There's like a doll under there, which is concerning. I do get that.
I also love the cast member name tag from Japan, which is seated and situated just under here.
Aw, that's adorable. I think I'm a fan of the Mickey and Minnie snuggling right here. They're like Velcro together or something. And also, not a huge fan of the two babies above them. One being Pinocchio. It appears he does not have a body. And one being like a possessed doll dressed like Peter Pan. But still fun to look at. And now we head to a spot, like Alan mentioned, neither of us have been before. And that is the Broken Spell Lounge. The last time we stayed here, this didn't exist yet. This used to be a steakhouse. Actually, Al and I, on our very first trip to Disneyland, went here. Here's an old picture of us. Aww.
We were babies.
Little babies. But it has since been turned into a Sleeping Beauty themed lounge. And I know the most popular place to go for drinks in this hotel and probably in all of Disneyland is Trader Sam's, which is on this property, and I highly recommend it. We're going to try something new. But if you want to see Trader Sam's, you can check out our last Disneyland video. The Sleeping Beauty theming for Broken Spell starts right here in the lobby where you can see the birds in the carpet right here, and it continues into the lounge where surrounding the lounge they've got these like metal trees that are designed to look like the forest because you're supposed to be in the forest, It's also on the wallpaper out here. It's those kind of boxy trees that you see really on display at Disneyland Paris, which we were all delighted to see outside of Sleeping Beauty Castle there. Once inside the lounge, you're going to notice that the lighting's a little bit lower. Our server explained that's because we're supposed to be in the Enchanted Forest, and the wallpaper is scenery from Sleeping Beauty. But if you look closely at the mirror behind the bar, you can see that someone's watching you.
Taking a look at the menu, there are a number of specialty cocktails that are all themed to Sleeping Beauty. You have things like the Raven's Wing, a callback to Maleficent's Raven Diablo, or the Spiced Apple Martini, even the Make It Blue, Make It Pink, a nice little dialogue between Merryweather and Flora. They also have a selection of barrel-aged cocktails and some specialty flights of Scotch whiskey, rye whiskey, bourbon whiskey, and Japanese whiskey. There is a selection of wines and beers.
To start, we were supplied some delicious seasoned nuts, but they were not as delightful as the live music happening, where the singer was very good, especially when he performed Bare Necessities. For cocktails, I ordered off the Halloween menu because, frankly, our bartender at lunch told me they light this one on fire, and I had to see it. It's the Green-Eyed Scepter, which was made with absinthe, Prosecco, St. George spiced pear, cinnamon syrup, lime juice, and blackberry. Now, theatrical it was, and I was very amused by it being lit on fire and the cinnamon bits fanning the flame. However, it was not a drink I would order again because I kind of forgot that absinthe tastes straight up like black licorice, and that was absolutely the strongest flavor. I was hoping a little bit that the Prosecco would weigh out as well as that lime juice, but no, it mostly tasted like black licorice. It was a very balanced cocktail. It was a well-made cocktail, but it wasn't something I would order again outside of the spectacle.
I went with a barrel-aged selection, the barrel-aged smoked old-fashioned. This was made with peach-infused Uncle Nearest, toasted clove, cinnamon, turbinado, simple syrup, and then a smoke blend of cherrywood, black pepper, cumin, coriander, and clove. This was very smoke-forward, and you could really taste and smell a lot of those smoked spices. Most specifically to me, I could really smell the coriander and clove. The old-fashioned itself did have a lot of that peach flavor coming through, with a little bit of the sharpness of the whiskey helping to balance out that palate. And then you ended with the sweet flavor of the cinnamon turbinado sugar. This tasted very warming, almost like you were having a peach cobbler in a glass. There is also a food menu, which is similar to what you'll find at Palm Breeze because that kitchen is shared. They have a selection of shareable items like Parmesan truffle fries and the ahi tuna tataki, a classic Caesar salad. There are also a selection of pizzas like the margarita pizza, charcuterie pizza, or their seasonal pizza, some sandwiches, fish and chips, steak frites, and the Broken Spell cheeseburger. They also have 2 desserts, the New York style cheesecake and the molten chocolate cake. We picked up the Parmesan truffle fries with fresh herbs, the classic Caesar salad made with house-made croutons, cherry tomatoes, and Parmesan cheese, and the prime beef French dip sandwich with prime sirloin, Havarti cheese, caramelized onions, au jus served with fries, fruit, or chips. We went with fruit because we already had Parmesan truffle fries on order.
First up, the truffle fries, which were an ample serving. If there's one thing the Disneyland villas do, it's give you a bunch of French fries. These were fine, honestly. They had a rich truffle flavor. I could have used a little more Parmesan cheese and a more unusual dipping sauce than ketchup. These were honestly not as good as the fries we had earlier, but if you've got a big group and you're looking for a tasty French fry, this will do. What was a star, however, was the Caesar salad. And I know you're thinking, how boring, but I do consider myself a Caesar salad connoisseur, and this is one of the best ones I've ever had, particularly because the dressing was fantastic. It wasn't too heavy, but it was still creamy. The croutons were made out of buttered croissants, so they were flaky and delicious. Tons of Parmesan cheese, and I loved the addition of the tomatoes. Would absolutely eat this again, and frankly, I just liked that we had girl dinner at the Disneyland Hotel.
Now, as far as this prime rib French dip goes, it was phenomenal. Let's start with the crispy bread on the exterior. It was light and crispy. It wasn't super heavy or dense. On the inside, the steak was cooked perfectly, very, very moist and tender. And I loved the sheer volume of horseradish that was on this dish. If you're not a horseradish fan, I'm here to tell you this sandwich is probably not for you because there was ample on it. And it really did help to clear out the sinuses, as it were, so to speak. Also, to help balance this all out between the richness of the meat and the spiciness of the horseradish, you had the caramelized onion, which gave a little bit of nuttiness and rich sweet flavor to this. I adored this sandwich. I would 100% come back and get this again. Okay, well, the Broken Spell was quite good. Good food, good drink, which is not surprising considering it shares a kitchen with palm breeze outside. I will say that the lounge itself, quite small, not the most themed spot, but still a fun experience.
Yeah, I could have done it with a little more Sleeping Beauty theming, a couple more Easter eggs in there. Of course, if you want a themed over-the-top lounge experience at this hotel, you're going to want to go to Trader Sam's. And we are staying here for a few more nights, so if we are able to get a walk-up or reservation, we will insert that right now. Future Molly and Alan here. The next night we were able to join the walk-up waitlist for Trader Sam's, which you can do in the Disneyland app, and I highly recommend checking continuously if you're not able to get a reservation. Trader Sam's is a tiki bar themed to Trader Sam, a character from the Jungle Cruise, and all of the bartenders here are skippers that allegedly got too drunk and couldn't drive the boats anymore, so now they are the bartenders inside. And do note that after 8 p.m., this is a 21 and up venue. Trader Sam's has a ton of Easter eggs, many of which Future Molly and Alan will show you when they go to breakfast, but there's a lot, especially if you're a fan of the Adventurers Club that used to be on Pleasure Island in Walt Disney World. Like, this creepy dummy right here is the original host. Also, Stitch fans, there's a Stitch on the wall. Plus, you can read a variety of correspondence between Trader Sam's and other members of the SEA.
Taking a quick peek at the menu, you're going to find a lot of tropical beverages, which means for you rum enjoyers, this menu is for you. Now, they have expanded that. You do have some vodka, gin, and whiskey on the menu, but it is still going to be heavily tropically themed. Now, for some of these drinks, when you order them, there are going to be certain effects that happen throughout the bar involving the skippers as your bartenders and the bar itself. But worry not if you are not a enjoyer of the adult libation. There are some drinks for you that are non-alcoholic. Also, if you don't want liquor, they do have a wide selection of beer and wines. Now, while we were not hungry this evening, there is food available on this menu. I would recommend the green beans, which feels weird to say and makes me realize that I am in fact an adult in my 30s. But you should still try the green beans, they're very tasty. For my drink, I got the Temple of the Forbidden Rye. This is made with Bullet Rye whiskey, allspice liqueur, ginger, and a tropical juice blend. This tasted like my preferred beachside beverage. It had enough of the tropical juice flavor, specifically pineapple and mango, but it wasn't overpowering or super sweet because it was balanced with the rye whiskey that had that spicy cinnamon flavor with some allspice coming through to balance it out. This was incredible. I would 100% order this again. It was slightly sweet, but still spirit forward.
I ordered the Shipwreck on the Rocks, which is made with Maker's Mark bourbon, mint, and fresh lemon. This is my favorite drink at Trader Sam's because it is tropical and refreshing because of the mint and the lemon, but it's still a bourbon beverage, so it's not too sweet and it's to my liking. And spoiler alert, this is one of the beverages that cues up something to happen in the bar.
Grab your life jackets and get your floaties, because we're heading for a shipwreck. Oh no, this is horrible. Why are you cheering? Oh, we're taking on water. Make sure to buckle your own safety jacket before helping the others around you. Yeah, this holds the ceiling.
Also, I don't know why it hasn't dawned on me before in all my visits to Trader Sam's, but you can also just order regular beverages. If you want to go here but aren't a tiki drink lover and you want to order like an old-fashioned or martini, the bartender said they could do that too. Just FYI. Overall, Trader Sam's is a blast and it is a fan favorite for a reason, so I highly recommend, especially if you love a tiki beverage, to visit Trader Sam's for delicious cocktails and general shenanigans. And perhaps an under-the-table lava deal.
Good morning.
Hello.
All right, it is time for breakfast. Slept well?
Yes, that bed was very comfortable, and now we are headed somewhere that hasn't always offered breakfast, so it'll be our first time having it there.
Also, I need coffee real bad. Yeah.
We are headed to hopefully have breakfast at Trader Sam's this morning because they started serving breakfast. Now, the next door location, the Tangaroa Terrace, which serves quick service food from the Trader Sam's kitchen, they have had breakfast, but Trader Sam's is now offering it for a sit-down experience, so we're going to see. They do not have reservations, or they didn't have any, so we're going to see if any walk-ups are available. Other good options for breakfast here, if you want to do a character meal, the iconic Goofy's Kitchen is really fun, where the characters will be in fun seasonal outfits, and they have breakfast and lunch at the same time, including delicious dishes like the PB&J pizza. And if you're looking for more of a grab-and-go situation, you can go to the Market House right next to Goofy's Kitchen, where they're going to have coffees and pastries on your way out. It really is such a pretty hotel. I love looking around here. And as a pro tip, if you can't get into Trader Sam's, the terrace right here does serve the same cocktails. And then a lot of the seating out here is open seating in the evening time, or you can go down like by here with the fireplace. It's really just a lovely hotel to just sit and luxuriate at. I know obviously everyone wants to get inside Trader Sam's, but if you can't, it's still, or if maybe that's too overstimulating for you, that's another option to enjoy the vibes. The vibe inside Trader Sam's is Tiki Paradise, run by Jungle Cruise skippers. And yes, those activations can happen in the morning as long as you're willing to drink alcohol for breakfast. Surprisingly though, it's a lot quieter at breakfast, so it did give us a chance to explore a little bit and check out some of the Easter eggs. Now, if you read the walls, there's tons of references to SEA, the Society for Explorers and Adventurers. There's tons of little skipper related jokes and notes to and from Trader Sam. But a couple of my favorite things I saw, they are celebrating the I Lava You short with a postcard on the wall. There's also a copy of 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea by Jules Verne on the shelves. Hanging on one of the walls is Trader Sam's top hat, which you can see, well, you used to be able to see at the end of the attraction. Trader Sam also snatched an orange bird souvenir at some point because he thought it would be an appealing souvenir. In the case, you'll see that he's also got a record from the famed Annette Funicello. Multiple times in this space, we have confirmed that Teddy Roosevelt is canonically a Disney character. One of the best Easter eggs is a map of the Temple of the Forbidden Eye with a note from Sala himself. And a little bit down the ways on the wall, there is a note from Indiana Jones with one of his whips to Trader Sam. But perhaps the cutest two Easter eggs I spotted are nods to different Pixar films. One, on the shelf, you've got the Paradise Falls jar where Carl and Ellie were collecting money from Up. And then on a shelf, you have an Alebrije carving, which looks suspiciously like Dante. I'm sure the more you look, the more you'd find, which is kind of the fun of coming into Trader Sam's. I notice new things every time we visit.
Taking a look at the menu at Trader Sam's, the drinks have all remained the same. Those you're going to find in the evening times will be listed here, so should you like to imbibe at 9 o'clock in the morning, you absolutely can. As far as the breakfast items go, you have a list of pretty classic items like the American breakfast, or a twist on classics like the tropical pancakes or the croissant breakfast sandwich that you can find at most Disney hotel breakfast menus. They also have a kid menu selection with smaller items for your little travelers. I will note that in order for us to sit at the bar for our seating, we were asked if we were 21 or up. We both are, but that's not the case if you're not sitting at the bar. Our food arrived, and I picked up the Loco Moco Burrito. This is a chopped beef patty with steamed jasmine rice, fried egg, gravy, and furikake inside a burrito. Molly picked up the Korean-style egg sandwich. This is Japanese milk bread, scrambled eggs, roasted turkey, tomato, and Havarti cheese. As far as my burrito goes, it was fine. Honestly, pretty average. There was a whole lot more rice on this burrito than I was anticipating. In fact, it was probably mostly rice inside of the burrito. The beef was also okay. It seemed to have been seasoned just fine. I would have liked for there to be more unique flavorings to it other than just like salt and pepper and some of that umami from the furikake. I just honestly wish there was more filling like the egg, the gravy, and the beef. It was honestly a little disappointing.
The egg sandwich surprised me in its presentation because the scrambled egg was wrapped around the bread. Maybe that's traditional. I've just not had that before. And it all tasted fine. There was a good amount of turkey on there, fresh tomato. I could have used a little more cheese, but that's just who I am. Overall, though, it was pretty bland, and I did use Allen's salsa as well as ordered a side of smashed avocado to zhuzh it up a little bit. This was okay. I think if I were to go back for breakfast, I would try the breakfast sandwich that comes with the Kahlua pork, because overall, this was fine at best.
All right, well, that was a fun way to spend breakfast inside of Trader Sam's.
Yeah, I think that breakfast food wasn't my favorite. It was a little underwhelming compared to the food you can get at lunch and dinner.
Yeah, that might have been an ordering problem for our items. They just were sort of lackluster. And I will just say that nighttime at Trader Sam's always reigns supreme.
Yeah, it's way more fun because like a lot of the activations in the room only happen if you order certain cocktails, and there's not a ton of people ordering like boozy cocktails at breakfast.
You don't want the OA?
I don't need to drink a bunch of rum before I go to Disneyland.
Or do you?
Not at 8 something in the morning, but I'm not again, no judgment. But the vibes are definitely higher in the evening. However, if that's too overwhelming for you or you're not able to get in during the evening, it was nice to be in there, and it gave us a chance to kind of enjoy the environment without the chaos. And as always, don't forget to ask for a to-go cup of coffee. Shout out to the bartenders in here who got these for us. That's a rule I apply to any breakfast I go to.
Always have coffee to go.
Always get a to-go coffee.
Okay, well that brings us to an end of our stay at the Villas at the Disneyland Hotel. What are your thoughts?
First of all, even though this hotel is not as close as, say, the Grand Californian to the parks, it's still very close. It's like a 10-15 minute walk through downtown Disney to get to the front of the two parks, which is incredible. Or you can take the monorail, which will drop you off in Tomorrowland. I love that this hotel celebrates Disney history. As a Disney nerd, it is so fun to see all of the old pictures, to go in the different lobbies of the buildings and see the different models. And it's just, it feels nostalgic. It's the only one Walt went to, so I always love that.
I also want to say from our dining experience, overall, pretty darn good. Palm Breeze was very tasty. Loved our time at the Broken Spell, a very quaint spot to pick up some very good cocktails. Trader Sam's, always a fun nighttime experience. And shout out to Tangaroa Terrace. I think it's an underrated quick service spot.
Plus you have Goofy's Kitchen, which is a classic character breakfast. Again, you can see that in our other Disneyland Hotel video. What do you think about the tower specifically in the rooms?
Ooh, I think that the villas are such a, it is a nice addition to the Disneyland Hotel on the whole. The rooms themselves, I think the room we were staying in are very nice. It's sort of like the classic DVC style room. I think lastly, for me at least, it fits the theme of the hotel overall while still feeling new and updated.
The only thing I'm missing is the magical headboards in the regular rooms.
Oh, right.
Like, obviously the Tiana headboard is awesome, but the castle twinkle lights is amazing. But like you said, these rooms feel newer, they feel fresher, they feel brighter, and I love that they worked in amongst this hotel that celebrates classic Disneyland, they celebrate classic animation. So I think it's a really good fit. And again, the price point when you use DVC Rental Store is unbelievable that you can stay here at a deluxe hotel, 10-minute walk from Disneyland for $300 something a night.
That's nuts.
And by staying at the Disneyland Villas, we have officially crossed off all the Disneyland hotels on our very long list of doing these hotel review series. So if you want to see different style rooms at the Disneyland hotels, or what hotels you want to see in Walt Disney World, let us know that down in the comments.
But until next time, friends, please be sure to like this video, subscribe if you are new, follow us on all of our socials, and come join us on Discord. We would love to have you there. The links for that are all down below.
And if we should do some kind of throwdown ranking video like we did with the cruise line at the Disneyland hotels, let us know that too. And until next time, friends, I'm Molly.
But I'm Alan.
And it's been truly magical.
Bye.